The visionary feminine. She who leads the wise woman is the one who leads others, not because she is the loudest, not because she is the strongest, but because she sees further than anyone else. She does not lead out of a need for power or attention. She leads because in her presence, the path becomes clearer. She has the gift of seeing beyond the moment, of seeing the whole picture. To see further is not about magical predictions of the future. It's about stepping beyond the noise of the present. Most people get stuck in details, worrying about what they said yesterday, or stressing about what needs to be done right now. Their view is like peering through a keyhole, narrow, limited. The visionary feminine looks wider. She sees the connections, how a small choice today will shape tomorrow's reality. She notices repeating cycles and can sense where they are leading. She sees not only the problem, but the context. Not only the step, but the entire road. That's why being near her feels different. Your chaotic thoughts and emotions begin to settle. Confusion turns into order, and what once felt random suddenly makes sense. You may be torn between choices, anxious, trapped in doubt, and yet one word from her, or even her silent presence, makes the path clear. Why? Because she knows how to set priorities, show you what truly matters and what can be left aside, slow the pace, calm the rush so you can finally hear yourself, name things clearly, turn your inner chaos into simple words, see the consequences, not what feels convenient now, but what will bring you strength and peace later. With her, it's as if you step out of fog and onto a road. The direction is revealed. And even though you still must walk it yourself, the inner confusion is gone. To see further is not to peek into the future. It is the ability to notice connections where others see fragments, to sense consequences before they unfold, to recognize truth beneath illusions and noise, to understand not only your own path, but the path of others. She leads because her vision goes deeper and farther. Where others see only the present moment, she feels its roots and its continuation. She sees not only what is, but what it is becoming. The visionary feminine, clarity over chaos. The visionary feminine knows truth is not found in chaos or in conflict. Struggle only creates exhaustion. Chaos only creates confusion. Truth appears where there is silence. Truth is clarity. When the noise of emotions settles, when you can see not only your own hurt, but the whole situation, when you stop proving yourself right and finally begin to listen. Most people look for truth where it is loud, in arguments, in endless proofs, in battles to prove whose opinion is stronger. They believe that if they shout louder, insist harder, or win the fight, the truth will be theirs. But the visionary feminine waits. She doesn't throw herself into every chaotic dispute or waste her energy on small fights. She knows how to step back, to let her vision clear, and when clarity comes, the answer that once seemed impossible suddenly feels simple, even natural. The archetype of the visionary feminine is the ability to be an anchor. She gathers fragments of experience, her own and others, and turns them into direction, into a path that others can follow. She doesn't rush to conclusions, yet her words strike to the very core. With her, people feel they are not alone, and that there is a road worth walking. Everyday life of the visionary feminine. In everyday life, the visionary feminine does not rush. She knows how to wait. She knows how to listen to silence, finding answers where others hear only emptiness. She shows up in her ability to listen, to offer guidance, to notice what others overlook. She often becomes a mentor, a teacher, a guide. Her decisions are rarely impulsive. She thinks not only of today, but of the consequences tomorrow will bring. She doesn't live in the blind version of here and now, chasing quick relief or momentary pleasure. When faced with a choice, she asks a deeper question. What will this give me not only now, but later? She sees each step as part of the road. That's why her choices are deliberate, rarely reckless. She knows how to separate fleeting desire from true need. For example, she may refuse instant gratification if she knows it will harm her health or her relationships in the long run. She may choose silence in an argument, knowing it will preserve closeness instead of winning at the cost of love. She may invest in learning or self-growth even without quick results, because she sees how it will build the foundation for her whole life. It's as if she holds two timelines in her mind, one about today and one about tomorrow. And this is what makes her so reliable for others. Around her, there is less chaos and more stability. Her presence gives the sense of direction, the reassurance that her choices will not destroy the future, but protect it. The shadows of the visionary feminine. The strength of the visionary feminine lies in her ability to see deeper and further than others. But every gift carries a shadow. Sometimes she begins to believe she knows better than everyone else. Her guidance turns into control. Her confidence hardens into coldness and distance. Her gift of vision becomes her trap. When she trusts her perspective too much, she is tempted to think that only she knows what is right. And then, her advice is no longer support. It becomes a command. She stops sharing wisdom and starts demanding that others follow her path. What happens then? Those closest to her begin to feel pressure. They lose their sense of freedom. They feel diminished, as if their experiences, feelings, and mistakes don't matter, because she already knows better. Over time, this creates distance and emotional coldness. The visionary feminine can retreat into a tower of her own rightness, looking down from above, as if saying, "I know, and you do not." Instead of inspiration, her presence becomes heavy, almost suffocating. Behind this lies a fear, the fear of letting go of control, the fear of allowing others to walk their own path, even if that means making mistakes. When she sees her vision as the only valid one, she unintentionally robs others of their right to experience life for themselves. For loved ones, this weight is hard to carry. A partner may feel devalued, like a student instead of an equal. Children may feel they are not allowed to make mistakes and start hiding parts of themselves. Friends may withdraw, avoiding her presence, because instead of lightness, they find constant advice and correct truths. Even if her intention is good, for others it feels like pressure. They begin to feel there is not enough space, not enough freedom, not enough permission to simply be themselves. And so, the natural reaction is distance, emotional or even physical. But the true power of the visionary feminine is not in holding others by the hand. It is in lighting the way and trusting that each person will take their own steps, in their own time, on their own path. The healing of the visionary feminine. The true visionary feminine does not separate herself from others. Yes, she can lead, but her strength is not in being above or better. It is not because she was born special or knows more by default. She leads because she has walked the path herself. She has known doubt, made mistakes, fallen and risen again. Her wisdom is not theory or borrowed knowledge. It is experience lived through her heart and body. Her healing lies in simplicity, in sharing her knowledge in a way that becomes light, not a wall. In speaking so her words are felt as support, not as judgment. When she remembers this, her voice changes. It no longer says, "I know and you don't." Instead, it says, "I've been where you are. I know it can be done. You can walk through this too." And this creates trust, because people feel her wisdom is alive, born not from the need to command, but from the willingness to support. But if she forgets this and places herself above others, her gift becomes a barrier. Then her advice feels like control instead of care. Her presence becomes heavy instead of safe. True healing begins where wisdom meets humanity, when her words carry not only truth, but warmth. When she can say, "I believe in you," instead of, "Here's the right way." When she trusts others with their own experience, even if it means they stumble. The true visionary feminine knows we are all walking the same road. She has simply walked a part of it earlier and can share her fire so that others may see the light. The visionary feminine. You can become she who leads, but remember, your strength will never lie in controlling others. It lies in learning how to lead yourself. When your own path is clear, when you can truly hear yourself and trust your decisions, others will naturally feel calmer, more grounded. Simply by being near you, you will begin to feel your inner core and help others find their own. To be truly wise is not to hand out ready-made answers. It is to live in a way that shows, by example, that clarity is possible, that strength is within reach, that the road is always there. Subscribe and begin learning to lead. First yourself, and then those who choose to walk beside you.